Welcome back everybody. It looks like Rian Johnson is not working on his new Star Wars trilogy, even though he said he was. He's working on an entirely new film that has nothing to do with the Star Wars franchise, which is a bit odd. You'd think setting up a new Star Wars trilogy would kind of take up all of your time and resources. I mean, why do a side project unless you wanted to test the waters and see how your film does at the box office? After Solo's dismal performance at the box office, Disney might have actually told him to go and do another film so they can see how the audience reacts before investing hundreds of millions, perhaps even more than $1 billion US, into his new project. So what is this new film Rian Johnson is working on? Star Wars The Last Jedi director Rian Johnson will helm Knives Out, a murder/mystery film starring Daniel Craig. Following the release of last year's episode in the Skywalker saga, Johnson has been developing an all-new trilogy set in the galaxy far, far away. However, it's currently unknown when that series will begin production, as Johnson is keen on mapping out the full narrative before moving forward. His pitch to Lucasfilm's Kathleen Kennedy was surprisingly green-lit without a story in place, so there's still a lot of work to be done there. As for Craig, he was all set to reprise the role of suave secret agent James Bond one last time for Danny Boyle's Bond 25. But that project hit a massive roadblock when Boyle left due to creative differences. Despite Eon quickly putting together a search for a new filmmaker, the status of Bond 25 remains up in the air. Reports indicated it could be delayed because of the setback, and now it looks like that's exactly what's going to happen since Craig has a new gig. According to Deadline, Craig has agreed to star in Knives Out, playing a detective tasked with solving a mystery. Johnson, who directs, also wrote the script. It's said to be in the vein of Johnson's earlier films like Brick and Looper. Distributors are expected to engage in a heated bidding war for the rights during this week's Toronto International Film Festival. Knives Out is very much on the fast track, with production expected to begin in November. Since Bond 25 was at one point scheduled to start filming this December, Eon will likely be forced to move the film from its planned November 2019 release date. Knives Out sounds like it's going to be a smaller film when compared to blockbusters like Bond or Star Wars, but filming should still span a few months. Eon obviously needs to wait until Craig is available again before forging ahead. In a way, this should benefit the Bond producers, as they'll no longer feel the need to rush in order to stay on track. Not only do they need to find a replacement for Boyle, the script he co-wrote with John Hodge is likely off the table. It's nice to see Johnson was able to squeeze an original movie in between Star Wars installments, and it should be fun to watch Knives Out come together. Ever since making his feature debut with Brick, Johnson has demonstrated a keen ability to put fresh spins on classic genres, oftentimes surprising viewers for better or worse, with bold and creative choices. Crime is a realm he knows well, and hopefully Johnson is successful in his mission to give audiences a new Poirot to enjoy. So Rian Johnson has been a busy fella. Makes you wonder how he finds all that time to engage on his Twitter page while working on both his new Star Wars trilogy and this film. And every time he does put out a tweet, he just seems to infuriate a lot of people. Now, I haven't seen Brick, but I did enjoy Looper. It was one of the reasons I was actually optimistic about The Last Jedi. But, oh well, you know my feelings about that movie. So yes, I believe Rian Johnson doing this film is testing the waters. It might be a similar situation to Colin Trevorrow and his film The Book of Henry, which did really poorly and might have been one of the factors that led to Kathleen Kennedy firing him. I know there was a difference of opinions between Trevorrow and Kennedy about the script, but she might have been more willing to listen to him if The Book of Henry wasn't a flop. I do believe that played a part in her decision, which is unfortunate because I believe Trevorrow had a better understanding of how to handle Luke Skywalker's character. Now, we know most of the Star Wars spin-off movies have been put on hold. We don't really know anything beyond Episode 9 other than the live-action TV series that's been developed and whatever project David Benioff and Dan Weiss are working on. You can be certain that Disney were not happy about Solo losing money, and among the many theories out there as to why Solo lost money, you can bet that The Last Jedi had a part to play. So this might be a smart business decision from Disney. Go out there, show us that you can do well with the new movie, and then we'll give you the green light to proceed. At least that's my take on this news. Leave your thoughts down below. As always, thanks for dropping by and for your continued support. Don't forget to like, share, sub and all of that good stuff. And until next time, see yous.